Level 1. The initial contact. You are 32 years old, sitting in an interview room at the Federal Building in Chicago at 9/4-47 2NP, telling two agents everything you know about the organization you have worked for since you were 26. The agents are Rebecca Moss, 41, and David Huang, 38. They are recording. They have been recording for 3 hours. They ask the same questions in different sequences, verifying what you said an hour ago against what you are saying now. You tell them about the warehouse, the delivery routes, the cash drops every Thursday at 6:00 a.m. The man named Victor, who never uses a phone and always wears the same jacket. Rebecca closes her notebook at 11:22 p.m. She looks at David. He nods. She tells you, "What you've given us is prosecutable. It's also the kind of testimony that makes you a target the moment the indictment is unsealed. We can offer protection, but protection means a different life, not a better one, a different one." You ask what that means. She tells you it means you do not go home tonight. Level 2. The safe house. You are 32, and you are looking at a room with no windows, a bed that is not yours, and a door with a lock on the outside. The safe house is not a house. It is an apartment in a complex 40 minutes from anywhere you recognize. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a kitchen with food you did not buy, a television you are not supposed to use, a phone you cannot touch. Marshal Tony Carver, 44, is assigned to you for the next 6 weeks. He is not your friend. He is not your guard. He is the person who makes sure you are still alive when the trial starts. Tony tells you the first week, you're not in prison, you're also not free. You're in the space between what you were and what you're going to become. Most people think that space is temporary. It's not. This is the rest of your life starting now. You do not leave the apartment for 11 days. Tony brings groceries. He brings updates. The indictment was unsealed. 16 people arrested. Victor was not one of them. That is the name you do not ask about, but think about every time you hear a car door close in the parking lot. Day 4. You ask Tony what happens if they find you. He does not answer immediately. He unpacks the groceries. Bread, eggs, coffee. Things you did not choose but will eat anyway. He tells you, if they find you here, it means we failed at multiple levels. It means someone talked, or you were seen, or a system we thought was secure was not. The safe house is not named that because it is completely safe. It is named that because it is safer than everywhere else you could be. You sleep in 4-hour blocks, every car engine, every footstep in the hallway, every voice that is not Tony's. On day 8, you hear shouting outside, 2 neighbors arguing about a parking space. You are under the kitchen table before you realize you moved. Tony finds you there 20 minutes later. He does not comment. He leaves a glass of water on the counter and goes into the other room. That is the name you do not ask about, but think about every time you hear a car door close in the parking lot. Level 3. The threat assessment. You are 32 and you are sitting across from a woman named Dr. Laura Finch, 39, who works for the U.S. Marshals Service Witness Security Program, and she is asking you to list everyone who might want you dead. This is not a conversation. It is an inventory. Family members who knew what you did, friends who worked in the same places, ex-partners who might mention your name to the wrong person, neighbors who will notice you are gone. Laura writes everything down, in a grid, names in one column, risk level in another, mitigation strategy in the third. Your brother appears in the medium risk column, not because he would harm you, because he would try to find you. Your mother appears in the same column for the same reason. Laura tells you during the second session, the program doesn't protect you from the people who want to kill you. It hides you from everyone, and the people who want to kill you are included in everyone. The threat is not just violence. The threat is visibility. She asks if you understand the difference. You say yes, you do not yet. Level 4. The identity death. You are 32, and you are signing a document that ends your legal existence. Your social security number will be marked inactive. Your driver's license will expire and not renew. Your bank accounts will be closed. Your credit cards will be canceled. Every subscription, membership, utility account, and lease will be terminated by a team of people whose job is to make you disappear from every system that recorded you. Marshal Eric Delgado, 36, handles the logistical side. He is the one who closes your apartment, sells your car. Nothing amplified. You will not be returning. He does not tell them why. He does not tell them where. Your apartment is emptied in 6 hours. Eric's team photographs everything first. Documentation in case legal questions arise later. Then they sort. Furniture goes to a resale company. Clothing is donated. Mail is forwarded to an address that redirects to a P.O. box that eventually goes nowhere. Your lease is paid through the end of the term. The landlord is told you accepted a job overseas. The story is plausible enough that it is not questioned. Eric tells you when you ask about your belongings, you get what fits into suitcases. Everything else is a loose thread someone can pull. People don't understand how much of their identity is objects. A book inscription, a photo with a landmark, a shirt from a place you visited. Every object is a breadcrumb. We take the suitcases and remove the breadcrumbs before you see them again. You pack twice. The second time, you leave more behind. Your high school yearbook, a coffee mug from the warehouse job, the jacket you wore the night you made the decision to talk to the FBI, the watch your father gave you when you turned 18. Eric holds it in his hand, turns it over, reads the engraving on the back. To my son, proud of the man you are becoming. He looks at you. He asks if your father is still alive. You say no. 6 years ago. Eric places the watch in the storage box. Not the suitcase, the storage box. He tells you, sentiment is a location. The engraving connects you to a place, and a time, and a person whose name is searchable. We cannot give this back to you now. Maybe later, maybe never. Eric tells you when you ask about your belongings, you get what fits in 2 suitcases. Everything else is a loose thread someone can pull. People don't understand how much of their identity is objects. A book inscription, a photo with a landmark, a shirt from a place you visited. Every object is a breadcrumb. We take the suitcases and remove the breadcrumbs before you see them again. You pack twice. The second time, you leave more behind. Your high school yearbook, the coffee mug from the job you worked before the organization. Eric inventories everything. Most of it will be destroyed. Some will be stored in a facility you will never be told the location of. You are allowed to keep 6 photographs. No landmarks, no identifiable locations, no faces except yours and immediate family. You choose 4. Level 5. The relocation. You are 33 now, 4 months since the interview room. You are sitting in the back of an unmarked sedan at 4:18 a.m., driving to an airport you will not be told the name of, boarding a flight you will not be told the destination of, until you land. Marshal Jennifer Park, 40, is with you. She has done this 47 times. You are number 48. She tells you during the drive, most witnesses think relocation is a fresh start. It's not. It's an amputation. You're cutting off everyone you knew and everywhere you've been, and what's left has to learn to function without it. Some people adapt. Some spend the rest of their lives trying to reattach what we removed. You land in a city you recognize from television but have never visited. Population 340, 0 medium-sized, large enough to disappear, small enough that the local marshal's office can monitor the area. The airport terminal is crowded, morning commuters, business travelers, families returning from vacation. You move through them like water through a filter. No one looks at you. No one remembers you. Jennifer hands you an envelope in the car outside. Baggage claim. Inside is a driver's license, a social security card, a birth certificate, a bank card, and a phone number written on a piece of paper. The phone number is hers, emergency use only. You are given a studio apartment in a neighborhood you do not choose. Rent is paid through a trust managed by people you will never meet. The lease is under a name you are still learning to respond to. Michael Patterson, 33, born in Ohio, worked retail for 6 years before moving here. None of that is true. All of it is documented. Level 6, the new identity construction. You are 33, and you are memorizing a life you did not live. The identity team is led by Sarah Brennan, 45, a researcher who has built 200 cover stories. Your story is number 201. The story is not random. It is built from your actual history, with every identifying detail replaced. You worked in logistics. Michael Patterson worked in warehouse inventory. You grew up in a cold climate. Michael grew up in Ohio. You have a scar on your left hand from a childhood accident. Michael has the same scar from a different childhood accident. Sarah tells you during the training week, a cover story is not a lie you tell. It's a framework you live inside. The more it resembles your real history, the less cognitive load it takes to maintain. People fail in this program when they try to become someone completely different. You're not becoming someone else. You're becoming a version of yourself with different proper nouns. You practice the story for 6 hours a day. Where you went to high school. What your parents did for work. Why you moved to this city. The high school exists. If someone looks it up, the name is real. The yearbook from your graduation year is not available online. Your parents are alive in the story, but estranged. This discourages questions and explains why no one visits. You moved here for work. The work is vague. The vagueness is deliberate. Sarah gives you a test on day 8. She asks 40 questions in random order. You answer 37 correctly. She says that is not enough. You practice 3 more days. Day 11, she asks you what your mother's maiden name is. You almost say the real one. You cack yourself. The pause lasts 2 seconds. Sarah writes something on her clipboard. She tells you, the pause is the problem, not the wrong answer. A wrong answer sounds like a mistake. A pause before the right answer sounds like a lie. In 6 months, someone at a bars will ask you a casual question about your childhood. And if you pause, they will remember the pause. They will not remember your answer. You practice not pausing. By day 14, you can recite Michael Patterson's life faster than you can remember your own. Level 7, the digital quarantine. You are 33 and you are being told you no longer exist online. Marshal Kevin Torres, 29, handles the digital side. He is younger than most of the team and understands the problem in a way the older generation does not. Every photograph of you that exists on social media has been requested for removal. Friends and family have been contacted by federal agents and told not to post about you, mention you, or respond to questions about your location. Some comply immediately. Some require legal pressure. Your name still appears in old news articles, high school sports records, a single Yelp review you wrote 6 years ago. Kevin's team contacts each platform. Most remove the content. Some require subpoenas. Kevin tells you during the security briefing, the internet is not a place you leave. It's a fossil record. We can't erase you completely. We can make you harder to find than the effort it takes to look. Most people stop searching after the first 3 pages of results. We bury you on page 7, and page 7 is deep enough for most threats. You are told not to use social media. No Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, no LinkedIn, no dating apps. You ask about email. Kevin sets up an account under your new name. It is monitored. Every message you send is logged. Every message you receive is scanned. You are told not to search for your old name, not to look up your family, not to check if anyone is looking for you. The temptation is worse than you expected. Week 3, you type your brother's name into a search engine at 2:47 a.m. Your finger hovers over the enter key for 30 seconds. You close the browser. Week 7, you stand outside a library with free computers and no monitoring. You stand there for 11 minutes. You walk away. Week 9, you search for your mother's name on a public computer at a coffee shop. The search returns her Facebook profile. The profile picture is 4 years old. You recognize the sweater. You do not click. You clear the browser history. You leave the coffee shop. You do not go back. Kevin calls you the next day. He asks if you have been following the rules. You say yes. He does not believe you, but he cannot prove otherwise. The coffee shop computer is not monitored. That is why you chose it. He tells you, the search is not the danger. The click is the danger. The Facebook algorithm logs every visitor. If you click, your IP address is recorded. If they are watching her profile the way we think they might be, that IP becomes a location. That location becomes a radius. That radius becomes a search. You do not ask how he knew. You already know the answer. Level 8. The containment breach. You are 34 now, 11 months since the interview room. You are standing in a grocery store at 6:32 p.m. when a man looks at you too long. He is in his 40s, gray jacket, glasses, he is staring. You leave the cart and walk out. You do not run. Running is visibility. You call the emergency number. Marshal Tony Carver answers on the second ring. You describe the man, the aisle, the time. Tony tells you to go to the secondary address, not your apartment. The backup location you were given on day 1 and told to memorize. You drive. You check the mirrors. You see nothing. Tony meets you at the secondary location 40 minutes later. He has pulled security footage from the grocery store. He has the man's face. The man is Robert Schaefer, 46, a high school geography teacher who lives 4 miles from you. No criminal record. No connection to Chicago or the organization, Tony tells you. He wasn't staring because he recognized you. He was staring because you were staring at him first. You were scanning the room the way someone trained to expect threats scans a room, and that makes you visible. The program can change your name. It can't change the fact that you're afraid. You return to your apartment at 9:15 p.m. The grocery cart is still there, abandoned in aisle 6. You do not go back to that store. Level 9. The contact violation. You are 34 and you are holding a phone you are not supposed to have, looking at a number you are not supposed to call. Your mother's number. The same one she has had for 22 years. You have been in the program for 14 months. You have not spoken to her since the night in the interview room when Rebecca Moss told you that you do not go home. The trial ended 6 weeks ago. Victor was convicted. 16 others were convicted. You testified for 4 hours. You did not see anyone you knew in the courtroom, but that does not mean they were not there. You dial the number at 11:43 p.m. on a Tuesday. She answers on the third ring. You do not say your name. You do not say where you are. You say, "It's me. I'm okay. I can't talk long." She is crying before you finish the sentence. The call lasts 2 minutes. You hang up. You remove the battery from the phone. You throw both pieces in separate dumpsters. Marshal Jennifer Park calls you at 7:18 a.m. the next morning. She knows. The program monitors your mother's phone. They have since the day you entered. The call was flagged. The location was triangulated. Your apartment was identified within 6 hours. Jennifer tells you during the emergency meeting, the rule is not arbitrary. It's not cruelty, it's math. Every contact you make is a data point someone else can use. Your mother's phone records are discoverable. Her location is traceable. The organization you testified against has people who do this for a living, and they are better at it than you are at hiding. You are relocated again. Different city, different name, different apartment. The second identity is James Cordero, 34, Arizona. No family nearby. You do not call your mother again. Level 10, the permanent distance. You are 35 now, 22 months since the interview room. You are standing in a parking lot at 5:50 p.m., watching people walk to their cars after work. And you realize you do not know any of their names. You work at a shipping company. You load trucks. You do not talk much. You are reliable and quiet, and nobody asks questions because nobody cares enough to ask. You have been here 4 months. You have been invited to one coworker barbecue. You did not go. Marshal David Huang visits once every 6 weeks. He asks the same questions. Are you following the rules? Have you seen anything unusual? Have you made contact with anyone from your previous life? You say no to all of them. He asks if you are adjusting. You do not know how to answer that. David tells you during the last check-in, most people think witness protection is hiding until it's safe to come out. It's not. There is no coming out. The threat doesn't expire. Victor was sentenced to 30 years, but the organization is still operating, and your testimony is still the reason 16 people are incarcerated. This is not a waiting room. This is the life. You ask if anyone has ever left the program. He says yes. Some people leave. Some are removed for violations. Some disappear and are never found. He does not tell you which outcome is most common. You think about your mother. You think about your brother who was in the medium risk column because he would try to find you. You think about the apartment you left and the warehouse and the man named Victor who never used a phone. You think about the grocery store and the teacher who was not a threat and the fear that made you visible. The program did not fail you. You are still alive. You are still hidden. But the program did not save you either. It removed you from the world you knew and placed you in a world where no one knows you. And the difference between hidden and erased is smaller than you believed when you were sitting in that interview room at 9:47 p.m., telling 2 agents everything. Rebecca Moss was right. Protection is not a better life. It is a different one. And different means you are safe. And safe means you are alone. 22 months. 3 cities. 2 names. 1 phone call you should not have made. The Witness Protection Program does not hide you from danger. It hides you from everything, and danger is included in everything. The program works because it makes you unreachable, and unreachable means the people who want to harm you cannot find you, and it also means the people who love you cannot either. You were not erased by a failure. You were erased by a system that works exactly as designed. The cost of protection is not money. It is connection. If this changed how you see what happens after someone testifies, share it, subscribe if you're new here, Every week, this channel goes somewhere most people only imagine from the outside.